Michigan needs to keep hope alive that they're going to play some of these neutral site games in a town they've never been to, Indianapolis. How cool would that be if they're able to experience the joy of playing on the Colts home field there at Lucas Oil Stadium, somewhere that they've been longing to get to all these years, a full decade now, it seems 9 years, I guess, of the Big Ten championship game, and they've never made it. And you feel bad for programs like that have never been able to play on that stage in that wonderful stadium. And now, possibly some neutral site games there against Rutgers or Indiana or Maryland or whoever might be their best hope. So,
any Michigan GPS will probably automatically reject that input.
Invalid entry.
Yeah.
It'll write it over and send them to West Lafayette or Bloomington.
If they ever do get there, they'll find out about the shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo. It's hot. It's hot. Be careful.
I'll go to 3 or 4 neutral site games in Indianapolis. I have no problem with that. So,
all it took for Michigan to get there was a pandemic.
We'll never know, but Steve started out this portion of the conversation by breaking down the Big Ten contract. And it would be fascinating to know. And of course, those numbers aren't there, and they're not even in the numbers of the folks that negotiated. But you take away Ohio State from the Big Ten, what does that number mean? Then you take away the next tier of Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin, basically. Nebraska. Where does that go? Because Nebraska, even though they're down on the field, yes, brings in the ratings on the TV screens. Then you peel away Michigan State, Iowa, etc., and you go with, the Illinois contribution to that, the Rutgers and Maryland contribution to that contract is basically null and void. Their portion in the ESPNU noon game on Saturdays is just a throw-in. So yeah, that's being carried by one institution primarily, and then about 4 or 5 that certainly have credibility and pull.
You get 2.5 TV markets out of it. You get New York, you get the DC, and then whatever Champaign-Urbana is, market size like 198 or something like that.
And I'm also trying to envision what is the social media backlash every Saturday, and then the national media treatment of a Big Ten schedule and Big Ten games. If you're watching a College Game Day, if you're watching whatever the and I should know this, whatever our wrap-up show is called late Saturday night and on down the line, Ohio State and Penn State are playing, but it's only week 3 of the Big Ten season, and it's week 11 of the regular season with everybody else. Therefore, this game doesn't count. What is the treatment of those games? It's going to be like a laughing stock. Social media is going to have a field day with the Big Ten.
It's a PR mess as well, because now you're either going to be ignored or ridiculed. There's, because how do you even? Yes, you have to explain they are in week this. They are not part of the playoffs, and I don't know. Do you want to distract your audience like that? Is the audience tuning in to hear about the Big Ten? I doubt it. Like the Big Ten, do they want to? Does the Big Ten audience, knowing that they're not going to be part of the college football playoffs, want to watch ESPN and see them preview all of these? Clemson versus North Carolina, Alabama versus Tennessee. Do they want to watch that, knowing like it's just more of that whole pain and teasing thing that's going on? And maybe they will just. Will they watch the Big Ten Network? I don't know. Will the Big Ten Network ever again show current events? I don't know, because they haven't been for a while. They have not yet acknowledged any of the parent protests, I don't believe, although, I say that I haven't watched. But I don't know that Big Ten fans would be, or Ohio State fans especially, would be clamoring to watch game day when they're not part of it. And especially if they'd probably be more inclined to watch it if they weren't playing. If Ohio State wasn't playing, then they would be if Ohio State is playing, and now they have to hear about all of this stuff that they can't be a part of. It's like I don't know. It's like watching somebody open Christmas presents from outside, looking through the living room window.
It's basically going to be the experience I have 7 or 8 times a year watching Ohio State football, and you guys do as well, except it's your jobs and you got to hang with it, where it's 35-0 at half, and I'm seeing all these great games kick off at 3:30 and thinking, man, I want to keep up with Ohio State, but game's over. I might as well go watch Alabama and LSU play or whomever.
Well, and we do have conversations going on in the press box during those games as we all have laptops open with with the games on and stuff like that. So we do, yell from time to time down the way, like what the score is at Texas A&M, Texas, or well, not that one, but you know what I'm saying. We try to keep up, but yeah,
the relevant games, sure,
exactly. It's tough.
We do play college fantasy football some years, and we have to have our bragging rights amongst each other. So we are, we're not paying attention to the teams, but we're paying attention to what Chuba Hubbard is doing, or somebody along those lines who could help carry our team.